What's going on, guys? This is Sir Clarence with Ultra Black News, and today we had the honor and privilege of interviewing Marcus Baskerville, the owner of Weathered Souls Brewing Company. Marcus, welcome.
How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing good. So, is there anything that you want to add before I kick off with this intro?
No, I don't have anything at the moment. No.
All right, awesome. So Marcus has been making a wave in the brewing industry with his company, Weathered Souls. And Marcus is among the growing Black brewers with the goal of making a difference and showcasing the beauty of Black within the brewing industry. So Marcus, welcome.
And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. So for the audience that's watching, could you share with us, about your business and how it came about? What inspired you to decide to, get in this space?
Yeah, so I'm the co-owner of Weathered Souls Brewing Company. Me and my business partner. We started Weathered Souls back in 2016. Originally, kind of what got me into brewing was the competitive nature between me and my older brother. So he had got like a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas one year and went ahead and brewed the beer, and it came out horrible. So it was like one of those instances like, oh, well, I could brew a better beer. So we actually did our first couple of beers together. And then I ended up moving to San Antonio for an opportunity out here and dealing with the bank that I was working for at the time. And so I ended up moving out here, got into a car accident, did a car for a while, used the extra money from my insurance claim to actually upgrade my brewing equipment. And that was kind of the start of it. So did that for a few years, brewing in my garage at home. And then from there took like a part-time job as an assistant brewer at another brewery.
Okay.
From there, kind of learned the ins and outs of like the brewing industry, kind of the do's and don'ts, while I was still working full-time at the bank.
Yeah.
Kind of grew unhappy because I didn't really get to do too much of what I wanted to do there. And so ended up leaving, and in the process of that, met my current business partner, Mike. So we were actually out one day, and I looked at him and I was like, man, Mike, when are we going to open a brewery? And he looked at me and he was like, I've been waiting for you to ask me that. And we literally started working on the brew house, I think a few days later.
Wow. So let me ask you this, just backtracking to, your beginnings and everything. So who won that competition between you?
Well, I mean, looking at where I'm at currently, it looks like I won that competition, right?
For sure. And then, just transition along to that, in terms of like developing those flavors and different things and stuff like that, what does that process typically look like?
Yeah, so I started out making, adjunct stouts and fruited beers and flavored beers well into like home brewing. And for me, it was just more so mimicking some of like the flavors, like your favorite flavors from, childhood, youth, or some of the certain flavor characteristics that you really enjoy, the combinations of that pair well within beers itself. One that was always a popular like flavor characteristic is our like coconut, coffee, and chocolate beer. So even at home brewing, I was doing something similar to that flavor profile, and then moved that towards the professional end with some of the barrel aged releases that we do and stuff like that. And that particular beer has grown to be a very popular beer for ours. So it's just fun to play with those different flavor characteristics that you're familiar with and seeing how those can kind of translate flavor-wise into your actual beer.
That's awesome. And you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that because, I haven't drunk beer as much, but whenever I was drinking, I always try to find something that can pair well with, the different things that I eat and stuff like that. And so it's crazy that, you can find something that's pretty much perfect with anything that you're eating and the different things like that. So let me ask you this. in terms of like the initiative that you guys have, the Black is Beautiful initiative, can you speak more on that and kind of give insight on that project?
Yeah, so Black is Beautiful was started last year, actually June 1st of last year. And what it was, or is a collaborative effort amongst breweries to collab on a recipe that we created here at Weathered Souls, which was a stout recipe. And brewing that stout recipe or another beer and donating 100% of those proceeds from said beer to organizations, charities, foundations that support inclusion, equality, social justice reform, police brutality reform. Where it stemmed from was kind of into retaliation of some of the things that were going on at the time. So we look at Breonna Taylor's murder, George Floyd's murder. I was actually on my way to Dallas at the time, and Breonna Taylor's mom was on the Breakfast Club, and she was talking about the certain events that transpired that led up to her finding out that her daughter was murdered. That conversation like pretty much brought me to tears just listening to what that lady went through. And on the way back, listening to some of the protests that were going on in like the Houston area. And so just I think the accumulation of all the things that were going on, it felt like a heavy weight on me to want to do something. And so just using the platform that I had to create this initiative, and the brewing industry showed up in full force. I mean, we had 1,207 different breweries across the world, not just the United States, 23 countries, all 50 states. And we've been able to raise, a few $1 million in support of this initiative. Us personally, we've donated, I think, a little over $33,000 to the 100 Black Men of San Antonio. Total, they've received a little over 47. And then, the additional funds coming from different partners of ours, different things like that. But then you look at participants like people who've received money like Humanized Pity, the Awesome Justice Coalition, the California Innocence Project, all those different places that get this money and then have had, such contributions assist them on being able to grow or expand their programs. So, I mean, it's been a great initiative so far. We just started year 2. Again, June 1st, where we just had a special bottle release to kind of commemorate the 1-year anniversary. And then this year, on top of, asking breweries to brew the beer, we're asking them to collaborate with like a local business. So Black business at that. So, taking it a step further beyond just the donation point, but bringing an actual Black business to support. So that could be anywhere from label design, recipe formulations, working with a restaurant to come up with a different flavor profile for the beer, whatever the case may be. We're asking breweries to go ahead and take it that extra step further. So we'll see how things go this year, and we'll continue to be able to support the initiative and help it grow and see how far we can take it as far as the support that we're producing.
Well, I can tell you, like, off tops, like, I loved everything about that, man, just because, in the business space, it's normally the community, without your customers in the community and stuff like that, you really don't have a business, you know what I mean? And anything that we do, whether you cut hair, whether you do anything, so to be able to give back to the community is something, it's definitely awesome, man. And speaking of your branding, oh my gosh, I looked at everything and your brand, and it is amazing, man. So in terms of the name and different things like that, how did that come about?
Yeah, the name was a very long process trying to figure out what we were going to come up with in regards to that. Weathered Souls ended up being an accumulation of an ode to my business partner's father and grandfather. Like, we've weathered that storm. We've been through a lot.
Yes.
For me, it was more so of your transition as a human being. So, I used to be in banking, the wireless industry, all these different things, and to see myself here where I'm at today, dealing with in brewing, and something I would have never seen myself do at any point in my life, is kind of where that name resonates with me. So that was the name we ended up choosing and going with. And yeah, I mean, I think it's fit us very well. And then dealing with some of the other branding and stuff that we use for like some of the names of some of our beer, it's just leaning towards some of the favorite pop culture stuff that we've been accustomed to growing up, and even as young adults and stuff like that, and just translating those into beer names and kind of having some fun.
Hey, look, I absolutely love that too, just because, it's kind of like you said, you weathered the storm, and then, now you taking everything and putting it together to make something beautiful. And so, I absolutely love that. So let me ask you this, in terms of the beers that you have, what is your favorite beer?
My favorite beer that I think that we've done is probably one of the barrel-aged stouts from our single barrel program. So we're heavily known for some of the barrel-aged beers that we produce, and we've paired ourselves locally with a local liquor store, and then a local like whiskey barrel group. And through this store and through these groups, we've been able to secure like super rare barrels that nobody's been able to get their hands on.
Wow.
And so some of the single barrel series are these particular barrel-aged stouts that have been in these barrels for a year or more, and accumulating those different flavor profiles from said barrels and seeing how they differ from, being in similar barrels or a different barrel completely. So I would definitely say that the single barrels have kind of grown to become my favorite beer.
Hey, you know what? I was going to say, like, I remember watching something, it was a while ago, and it was saying like what you're saying, like, how the barrel can, give different flavors, depending on the wood and different things like that. And so, it's kind of cool to actually hear, you speak on that and everything. And so let me ask you this. So in terms of the food that you guys have, I see that you guys have the barbecue in the kitchen. And so, I'm from Florida, which is the South too. And, we always claim that, Florida has the best barbecue. What you gonna rep for Texas, man? Tell me about y'all barbecue that y'all have.
Yeah, man, we got great. Andrew, our pitmaster, is putting out some great barbecue here at the brewery. Actually, I want to say he should be hitting that Texas Monthly Top 50 this year. So the Texas Monthly just did a feature on our brewery not too long ago, actually about pairing the beer and the barbecue, and those being the perfect pairings. So his brisket is amazing, does fantastic with his pulled pork.
Nice.
So, we have different sides and stuff like that to go with it. More of the Hispanic vibe, so Mexican rice, beans, that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, the barbecue is great, and it pairs very damn well with the beer.
I love it, man. Hey, look, you over here talking about the brisket and all that stuff, man. Getting me all hungry. Man, so let me ask you this. In terms of your getting into the industry and getting started and everything, what challenges did you guys face in the beginning and stuff like that, and how did you guys overcome those things?
The biggest challenge for us was actually trying to find a location. It was trying to find something that we were going to be happy with, not necessarily content. Also trying to find an area where we could see a decent amount of traffic. San Antonio is a very, very large city. And being said that, it has a very small craft beer scene though too. So we had to be very kind of strategic in the location that we placed off, just to be safe to be able to secure enough customers to come. So I would say definitely that was probably the hardest aspect of getting the brewery open. Outside of that, we didn't really have too many obstacles to get over to get things open and moving. So we've been very fortunate in being able to, kind of streamline things.
That's awesome. And so for the audience and people that is out there, could you tell them a little bit about like how important it is in terms of your location? Because you know, some people, they get into business, they don't understand, you know, location is everything.
Oh, definitely. You want to be somewhere that's visible. You want to be somewhere that is easily accessible. You know, there's all these different little factors that need to go into where you actually choose a location to be beneficial to what you're doing. So we've been very fortunate. We're about 2 exits away from the airport. You know,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, we're right off of the freeway. You know, that type of thing, easily accessible, easily open to individuals to be able to get to us. So yeah, I mean, location is definitely an important thing as far as when you're choosing a business, where you want to be able to have your business to operate.
So let me ask you this: where do you see the industry years from now in terms of, you know, having more Black brewery companies and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, dealing with the brewing industry itself, definitely growing as far as having Black brewers, other minority brewers within the industry, and I think as more folks understand that the industry does have the opportunity to be inclusive, and they want to put in the work to get to where they're going to want to get to, I don't think they're going to have any problem with getting there. Like I said, I've been very fortunate in being in the career that I am.
Yeah.
We know that there's not a lot of Black people in the brewing industry whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I mean, we know that the brewing industry does have the ability to be inclusive. It does have the ability to want to help. You know,
That's
it's have
awesome.
to be certain opportunities to do so. And then, so I think if individuals start taking advantage of those opportunities, we'll definitely get far. So we'll hope to see over the next few years continued growth in that path of having more Black business owners within the industry, having more Black brewers within the industry. I've always said that you know, you can add all the bartenders and you know, production staff and everything like that you want, but the real change happens, you know, when there's a shift of power.
Yeah.
So that ownership, the management opportunities, the individuals who make the actual decisions within the brewery are the ones that is when you actually start seeing those changes happen.
Yeah.
So going for those positions and growing from there is definitely the route that we need to take to be able to start making an impact more within the industry itself.
For sure, for sure. So, you know, for, you know, individuals out there, what advice would you give to them if they're looking to possibly get started and, you know, dip their toe into the industry?
Definitely follow your passion. You know, don't falter for anybody, and continue to work hard. I would strongly believe that the individuals that work hard to get where they need to get to are going to get there. So keeping that work ethic and trying to have a pride within the quality of product. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't care about the color of the skin. They want to make sure that you're making great beer. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if the quality is there, then the people are going to come.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, hey, Mark, this has been an honor interviewing you and, you know, just showcasing your business. You know, is there anything else that you want to leave the audience with?
No, I mean, just support the initiative. Go out there, you know, support the Black is Beautiful initiative. Find those breweries that are producing the beer. Visit the website blackisbeautiful.beer. Give it a check out and see locally who's producing that beer and go get it.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, definitely been an honor, man. I want you to enjoy the rest of your day. I'm about to go and get me some barbecue now that you mentioned.
All right.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. Cheers.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
What's going on, guys? This is Sir Clarence with Ultra Black News, where we aim to highlight all things good in the Black community. So if you're new to our channel, make sure that you hit that like button, make sure that you subscribe, and then make sure that you share this with friends and family members. Make sure to tag them in the post as well if this is great content that you enjoy and that